Yeah. Okay. So the mind training, will of sharp weapons, verse 43, stanza 43. That's what we're going to read today. Say, when my studies and teachings fell free to attachment and anger, it is the weapon of evil karma training upon me for failing to reflect on the ill of demons in my heart. From now on, I will examine adverse forces and overcome them. Okay. So, so my study and teachings, the foul prey, attachment, and anger, it means it could be like a way beginning you have attached to gaining the fame and wealth. Therefore, you are listening, teaching. Therefore, you are teach to others. Or at the beginning, you are competitive with someone that you really wants to challenge, or someone better than you. They do with the more like anger. So that's one kind. It like doing study and teaching for only that. It means you are teaching and learning support to increase your attachment and anger. So, or or you are how much you study, it's how much you knows, that much like people respect you, and then beginning that having some kind of expectation and attachment on the having more respect, more fame, right? And then also that the teaching and listening for gaining more money or financial. And then while you are studying more, then you are having more better knowledge. Once you have better knowledge, that competitive minds arises, right? So then anger comes. That's how it goes usually. It's not only the refers with the Dharma teaching and listening. So every study things, the way beginning, we are so humble, and then very scared to talk to in front of people, thinking always that I'm the beginner, right? And then you continue studying, then you know more. Then everyone's compliment to you. Oh yeah, your knowledge is so good, and then and so on and so on. So then slowly it comes like a expectation and an attachment to self, right? So that saying, oh yeah, there's they a lot of complimenting me, so then I might become a more famous. And through by becoming famous, I will have more, becoming more riches, so on, so on, right? So that slowly that attachments comes after you study. And same way, when you the way beginning when you teach, and it's not that much have a attachment and anger, but slowly you having more student, and then again more compliment, then that attachment and expectations arises, increasing it. So how much increase your attachment, that much you competitive minds, right? The competitive minds arises, and how much you have a competitive minds, then you try to defeat to others. That anger arises, jealousy comes, pride comes, right? All this comes the later. But sometime way beginning, we have a too much attached to uh, our own view. Say that my view is best, my religious is best, and my knowledge is best. What I know is the perfect. So that's the way beginning you have already attached on it. and then based on that, you are studying more. And then at the very beginning, you have some kind of aversions or like a anger or hatred to some other religious or some other class, some other school, some other teachers. So, and then for defeating them, the based on anger, you are studying more, you're teaching more, right? That's how saying here. So whatever you studying and teaching, it's just only the increasing or manifested that the anger and attachments. So this is regarding here our Buddha Dharma. It's actually goes opposite, right? Because we studying Dharma for reducing anger, we studying Dharma for reducing attachment. But how much you study is the only support to increase the attachment and aversion, like hatred. Then we say the medicine turning into the poison, right? The medicine turning into the poison. That's then it's become more habit. Then nothing can help you to reduce anger and attachment. Nothing can help you to overcome by suffering, right? Because you are willing to, you accepting or you are interesting to have more anger and attachment based on teaching and study. So then nothing to help you to reduce those. So yeah, these kind of things here talking to the attachment and so how much I study and teaching, it's like it says it praise, right? What's it? Foul prey.
Prey is like to fall prey of something is like to be like weakened and then they like attack you.
Yeah, the it's Tibetan the word says Chog I say Chog means supported, right? They supported. So therefore your study and teaching supported to increase attachment and anger, or cause to have increase in attachment and anger, then it's actually it's not successful or not proper way to it. It goes wrong or negative. So this is the saying, evil karma turning up onto you, which you are falling into reflect on the ill on demands. I mean, like because you are not thinking why you study and what teachings, right? You're just following in our regular emotions or whatever comes after that. You just follow it. So yes, please.
So what you're saying is if we were just to observe the emotions that are coming through, that would be the proper way to do the studies. And if we were to go follow the emotions, that would be the improper.
Improper, yeah. That's
yeah.
yeah.
You're just feeding the anger through that way.
Yeah. Okay. So most of our thought in the regular is just follow the emotion, right? That's most of the time we fail. Once you follow the emotion, then always that comes either like those mental afflictions are arises, or sadness and worries and anxiety. All this depression and anxieties which we're talking here, it all comes from there. We just following emotion. So if you follow the more reason, then say that not actually, I don't think you will have depression and anxiety if you follow more reason. Say, give you one example. Recently, I lead that medicine event, right? So we began from Minnesota, and then one month they break the rule, and then I punished it. So this is what we need to do, right? And then someone has an empathy for him, say, just let it go this first time, say, because I make rule, okay, this day is your day off and these days you have to work. Now we can begin the work and whatever rule follow, right? So he breaks the first day, the rule, and then I punished it to get money from him. So, and then all these other monks are very much empathetic. So we say empathetic, right? Having empathetic to him, say, because he's come from India. And then he's saying, oh, why this time just excuse to him is first time breaking and he don't have any money to punishing to get money from him, and so on, so on. They're very much empathetic to him. So I don't have that. So because if think longer term, rule is rule, right? And then there's no excuse. And I told them, okay, you have very much empathy, like a what called empathy. Yeah, okay. So you guys have too much empathy for him to breaking rule or compassion to him. But once you compassion to breaking rule, actually you don't have a compassion. That's how I said it. Actually, you do not have a compassion. So if you really have a compassion, you will not break the rule because the rule is the base on have peace and harmonies, right? The breaking rule is you ruining the peace and harmonies. Therefore, you having compassion or empathetic to breaking the rule, actually you do not have compassion. It's just emotion. So emotion does that. See, it's just nice, and then see having more empathy, like empathy to him, and then be excused to all everything, not thinking long terms. That's how emotion does. Emotion not thinking really long terms. So that's not my answer. Okay, this is the how we need to go. Rule is rule. One said it said. No change. So become. Actually, they do have an empathy in the movement. Looks like I don't have empathy, empathy. But the long term, that's how I'm thinking, right? So at the very beginning, if you just make them punish, then all will go smooth, right? Because they know it's strict. What to call it? Strict, right? They know it's becoming more strict. Then they follow the rule, and everyone's happy. Then no one arguing each other, no one complaining each other. It be peace, right? That's my point. I follow more reason. They follow more emotion. That's the C, which is right and which is wrong. I can say that I'm right because the long-term happiness is there, and then so on and so on. But is very much depend on each one's perspective, how they see it, right? So, and then this is simple example. The following emotion is just do not cease in the futures. The following emotions become more blind, right? It's more ignorance. So therefore, all the anxiety, depressions comes from there. So if follow the reason, every decision, every thoughts, then you will not have a easily like a what call excuse and worry and sadness. You will not have that, right? That's how you think it. So I just give simple example for that. Not follow the emotion. That's usually always I said. Do not follow the emotion. But habitually, I do also follow emotion, but catching up immediately and then change, right? That's one things I can say that I can do that, catching up immediate and change immediate. But sometimes it goes emotion and forever follow the emotion. Then all the sadness, worry, all this distractions comes, right? So, and then we don't know how to overcome by it. So the way beginning, if you know that, and way beginning, you just change it. As I said, it's a habit list comes, but it's good things that we can change it. Good morning. Yeah, good things that we can change it. And then, but the changing always need a mindful at the way beginning. And then once you become another habit to thinking, okay, I have to think more reason instead of emotion, then it brings you, it's realize you immediately, whatever you think, right? So, okay, however, so here, they're talking that, yes, please.
Yes. Yeah, I have a question. Do all rules that get violated need to be punished?
Yeah, the punish means not necessary, right? The let's say our monastery have a rule saying the first time you have to warning, right? Just warn them, and in not directly warning them, you did it. So someone did it this today, better not do it. The first warning. And then second warning, if did this again, then say, okay, warn second time. Second time, you not just again, you not directly pointed the person. Second time, you warn them, okay, the person is in the right side. Just say right side, in left side, not say he's or she, right? Person is in the right side, do this again, please don't do that. And they do third time, and then point it and punish. That's how we goes in our rule, like a monastery rule. So not immediately punished, right? So, but it's depend. It's depend. So if we know at the way beginning, this is they're doing so bad, which is their habit, then better punish at the way beginning. If we don't know, then more respect, right? For more respect, say just warning to 1 time, 2 time, right? That's how we do. Is you asking?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the guy that you find, that's his first time, right?
This is my first time, but I know it's his bad habit. He's doing this again. I know that. So because I work with him long time, he will do this again. I know. So this is the first time punished, and then this punish, the other 3 months there, it's help them. Okay, strict, and then we will have those. They are safe now. The right punish to give one person, and we don't have to give punish to others. This is warning to them. So anyhow, yeah, that's a little bit tricky. We have to deal with it at the time and what the situations are, right? Okay. So yeah, here saying that teaching and learning, now go back to here, the teaching and learning to arise attachment and anger, the 2 way to do it. So one thing's your own attachment and anger to your own qualities, right? You have you listening teaching, as I mentioned earlier, so you listening teaching for gaining fame, right? It's your own, you having attached to your own quality, and you are also like a teaching to others, also gain fames, and then also competitive, which is rise anger, right? Those do with your own. But sometimes we do have an attach on the religious, right? My religious. And then we hate it on, we have anger or hatred on other religious. And or my own view, I do have attached to my own view, clinging on my own view, and like a hatred to other religious. That's kind of things we do have it. So, and then the Buddhist saying here, this is totally wrong way to do it. It's very negative. In general, having attachment and aversions are like a hatred is negative, right? And related with this teaching and listening, studying, also this is negative, which is cause of suffering. That's the saying. So therefore, you shouldn't clinging on your own view. This is most of the time we have a problem again, right? So why we cannot accept our own fault, because we do not see its own fault, because we have a clinging that my view is best. That's not let you see that your view is wrong, right? And then that's the most of the time. I think these issues bringing a lot of trouble to individual life, to society, to clinging on your own view, clinging on your own thoughts. Say my view is right, my thought is right, my decision is right, everything is right and right and right. It's just a clinging it. You're not really being honest, right? So it's just clinging on it. That's how we have how much you have a clinging on your own view and your own religious and your own decision or your own thoughts, that much you will not accept any faults. And then that's the begin the argue, right? Then someone say you're wrong. No, I'm never wrong. I do wrong. Then you have 100 reasons to say why I'm not wrong, right? So, and then any reason is not really valued. Usually we're saying who killed the father, they do have a reason to say it. They have 100 reasons to say why I killed the father. Do we need to follow their reason or just see the killing father is bad? You know, how we need to see it, right? Who kills the father? When they go to courts or judge, they have a lot of reason to why I kill my father, right? They do have a lot of, but in generally, just they're 100% wrong. How much they have a good reason or how much they have a reason, actually it's wrong. Actually, it's it's negative, right? So, but they do have a reason. So therefore, any reason is not really valued. Any reason is not really counted that you're right, right? So therefore, the clinging on your own view and on decision, on thoughts, it's sometime or most of the time, it's cause to have trouble in our life, right? So therefore, it's saying here, whenever you do this, you have a clinging and you have attached to the studying and teachings cause to have attachment and anger, then you should know that it goes wrong, right? But based on talking here how to free from suffering, right? It's not talking here how to be survive in this world. Just simply, if your goal is how to survive in this world, then it's okay to have anger. It's okay to have attachment, right? So if you just surviving your life and not think how much suffering you do have, right? So then you don't have to worry on that. Just having anger and attachment is okay. But you really want to free from suffering with surviving your life, then we must concerning that our negative emotions, which here mentioning the attachment and aversion, like anger, right? So again, one repeating here, here special when you study Buddhist or mind training, any mind training regarding Buddhist, it must be applied for antidote to reduce anger and attachment. That's how we talk. That's all the point, what Buddha taught. So, but we see not in here in the West, we see a lot in our, even the monks community, we see the studying and then becoming more knowledgeable, having more pride, becoming more knowledge, having more student, then more having more competitive mind. This is a lot of happening in also that monk society and nuns, and then because the natural, we already have the strong those negative emotions are right. Maybe you might heard few times I said it that in our monastery saying, if you know a lot of information about Buddhism, it's not necessary do you know the Dharma. The knowing Dharma is concerning when you reduce those mental afflictions, then you know Dharma. When you apply for gaining happiness, then you know the Dharma. When you apply for concerning other, then you know Dharma. Until then, having just information, knowing a lot is not just really counted, you know the Dharma. Right? You just have information, not really knows the Dharma. Knowing Dharma is that knowing Dharma is antidote for cause of suffering. That's the know Dharma, knowing Dharma considered, right? If you do not know the Dharma is antidote for if you do not know that how to apply Dharma for antidote for the reducing those mental afflictions and self-centeredness, then you don't know Dharma. Even you can teach, you don't know Dharma, right? You can teach a lot, all this mind training, all this Buddhism, but if you still remaining same person who has a strong pride and jealousy and so on, that means clearly sees that you don't know Dharma, right? Okay, that's how we said it. And then same here. So you don't know Dharma. So if you know Dharma, that's how it goes. Yeah, and then secondly saying, it's the forefalling to reflect on the ill of demons in my heart. The demons refers here, the main refers here self-centeredness. Demon means not really the persons who harms to us. The demon means all these mental afflictions are demons. Whatever disturbing to you that to do becoming better practitioner, whatever disturbing you that becoming more compassionate person, those are demand. Sometimes could be your friends are demand, your parents are demand. Right? So yeah, there are a few texts mentioning that my place where born is demand, and then my parents are demand. Why? Because it's like when we come to monastery to study, that we keep remember my place that bringing me back. Looks at it's like it's bringing me back to the same place instead of staying in a monastery, continue staying, right? Studying, right? So the clinging on our hometown, and then clinging on parents, or not even you not clinging on parents, the parents say disturbing your meditation and so on, so on. So this considered as demon, right? So therefore, demand and friends is very much dependent. Sometimes it support you, is good things. Sometimes disturb you, bad good things. So the same person could be demand. Same person could be spirituality teacher. Same person could be best friend or nice friends. So that could be, right. It's depend on how they acted. So therefore, sometimes we said it, and that. Relatives, parents could be the demands for disturbing us to continuing be compassionate person, continue being practice of compassion, continues meditating, right? So yeah, so these are the considered as demand here, and then yeah. Then it says you are failing reflecting on it. So it means like you are not thinking those are the disturbing at the moment. Another example here. Usually the concentration meditation is good, right? It's a very positive. But when you are listening teaching, then meditation is negative, it's demand, because it's disturbed you listening teaching, right? So it's depend how disturbing it could be. So therefore we should know which things we should avoid it, which things we accept it, which things we follow, which things we shouldn't follow. That's we should know that and try to best to do it. So otherwise it says here, long time we collected karma to not thinking the fault is fault, not thinking bad is bad, not thinking is suffering as suffering is suffering. That habit's turning into back to have suffering, having a lot of faults, right? So therefore, this is a reflecting karma, which is not think it. Now it's saying now I think, right? So from now on, I will examine it. It versus forces and overcome them. So which is disturbing, which is bad condition, or which is good condition, we should know it, then we should follow that. That's the saying here. So not just always excuse that is my friend, right? Not just always excuse that, oh, this is something which is my relative, it's related with me, and so on and so on. It's not excuse. Or also not excuse that I do it usually, I do it every day, I do it every year. It's not just excuse that way. After you knowing this, then if you really wants to practice, need to change a lot, right? And while you're changing, that not really say every year I'm doing this, I must do this. It's not necessary. Every year I'm doing this, but is this good or bad? It is benefiting or not benefiting, right? That's how we need to think really. If you see this not really benefiting, then try to stop it. It brings you a lot of benefiting, continues. That's how we need to go, right? Everything's that would you have a habit in your daily life, those habits we have to rethink, because sometimes habitually we go very wrong directions. We will never notice that, thinking as this is normal, this is natural, this is culture, right? So that could be goes and then the wrong way. Even the culture, even a tradition, we have to rethink. Is all the culture and traditions, it just comes, it's not the way beginning comes, right? Some people things is good to do it, then it's slowly and then becoming more what called the more people followers, then that's how to become a tradition and culture, right? Tradition and culture is not always right. Right? So because it comes from a human being who have ignorance. All the tradition and cultures comes from a human being who have no ignorance. That could be sometime we are on a right path, sometimes we are on the wrong path. So therefore, rethinking is very important. Be a more thinker, that's the saying, right? Be a more thinker instead of just the blindly following it. And then special that the quality, what motivation we needed for when we listening Dharma, what motivation and condition we needed when we teach to others, right? So in the stage of the path to enlightenment, Lamrim says at the way beginning, how to listening Lamrim. It talks about threefold and six condition right? The three folds, the fold, the part upside down, part has a dirty inside, then part has a hold. Don't be these three things, right? What it means, like a part upside down means you are in here in a class, but your mind's thinking something else. Just body is here. Then you're not hear everything we're talking here. That part upside down, right? Your mind is like to listening this because your mind's thinking more something else beside the teaching, right, during our class. So this we consider the part upside down. This is one fault, saying shouldn't be upside down, more attention while you're in the class, whatever talking, especially every single word, right? That if you can catch it up to every single word in the class, that's the best. So therefore you need a more attention and mindful instead of part upside down. And then saying that the part inside dirty, it means like when your motivation is dirty to comes listening, teaching, or you're teaching to other, saying that motivations is, as I said beginning, just gaining fame or gaining some kind of wealth and like a people following people, right? Those are the not really considered good motive. It's just negative motivations, right? And then special, sometimes I have a problem, therefore I came class. This is sometimes is good, but it refers to the Mahayana. That is more self-centeredness, just thinking only yourself to overcome by this kind of problem. Therefore, you comes to teaching, right? Otherwise, you come for teaching. Okay, I have this problem. Many of them might have this same problem. See what the solution is there. So what idea and what method there to overcome this problem, which I can apply to myself and which I can share to other. So come with this kind of motivation is a little bit better. So as well as like a part dirty, eating in this part dirty is not really comfortable, right? So or people cannot eat that which part has a mud or some kind of dirty that we cannot eat in this part, right? So therefore your motivations goes wrong. Whatever you're learning, whatever you studies, it's not really benefit to self and other. It's useless. So, and then we said the part has a hold, which means the whole parts, whatever water we put inside, it goes. It's not remaining inside the parts. It goes outside, right? So here is like a meaning is like you forgetting, the forgetting. You have a attention now. You have a clear motivation now, and then you hear everything what you what talks in the class. And after a week or after a day, you forget it. So that's we call considered parts has a hold. It's also fault. When you forget those instruction, then how you can apply for practice? We don't know, right? How you can meditate it? We don't know. So therefore, it's important whatever learn to continuous remember it, right? The continuous remember it is like after class, we have to kind of rethink again and again, think what we talked and how is it. So reflect a lot. So that will help you to not forget it. This three is the part upside down. So when you're listening, any teaching, not only the Dharma, right? So you need these three, free from this threefold, right? Not have this threefold. And top of that, we count six condition. The very beginning, the first within six condition, the first one is especially when you come for listening Dharma. We always think that I'm illness, right? So, and then Dharma is medicine. teacher is doctor. Those kind of things we're thinking, right? So at the very beginning, if you think I'm illness, then you will really listening what doctor said it, and you will exactly follow that instruction to how to eat medicine and what you need to eat medicines, right? This all comes that way beginning. You think you are, I'm sick now, I'm illness now. So therefore, when you're listening to Dharma, thinking I'm illness, right? We really don't have an illness what the worldly accepted, but actual, when you use the reason and logic, the same, the like we have a same that what the mental illness have it, right? So the one things we do have a mental illness because all those mental afflictions, we do have it. We do have an anger, we do have an attachment, right? That's usually, I'm joking. If like what called if anxiety and depression is counted as illness, why not anger? What different really there? Right? So and then yeah, so and then another is a mental illness who lost all this control, who lose their own control, which we describe the mental illness in general, who is lost their own control. If this we count it in mental illness, then who have anger, why not is mental illness? They act same. They lose their control. Once we have anger, we lose our own control, right? So same way when we have attachment, we lose on our control. Every single mental afflictions, once we have strong, we lose our control. Therefore, regarding that, we can consider that we are mental illness. And regarding physical, we're saying we do have many disease in our body, which is not really manifested, right? Buddhists describe here 84,000, what do you call it? It's not really disease, okay. It's kind of like an illness, yeah. We said like a vector, what call? We have a lot of small things in his body. Bacterians, yeah, bacterians, virus, right? Let's say we have a 84 yeah, 84,000 virus we had in our body, that's we said it. So, and as well as we have that virus, then all this illness comes time by time, right? So the COVID, we never had before, now we hear it. And then the SARS, earlier we had that illness. And then all this like a disease, which we have it. Buddha is saying we already have that kind of the potential conditions in our body, which is 84,000 virus that we have it. So
virus is too specific. This is like one very specific.
Okay.
I don't know. I still don't know what the proper word is, but that's too specific.
Vectors?
No, that's still too specific. Because those are like they're like in a class. I don't know what the right word is. Ailments.
They're called infectious disease is the technical term.
Infectious diseases.
Infectious diseases? Okay. Oh, okay. No, so far use that. Yeah. Infectious disease.
Sorry, Geshe, that was sorry.
I understand. No problem. So that's we said like 84,000 we do have in our body. So consider that we can think we are illness. Actually our body is in general, as well as we describe the body and mind as a contaminations, is unpure. And then it's unpure is easily have to have illness, right? no matter how much you do exercise and have health food and so on and so on, but easily have a illness. So that kind of condition we do have body, and then in generally we are illness, both physical and mentally. But here refers more mentally, we are illness because of those mental afflictions, right? Thinking, therefore, why I'm saying this, thinking myself as illness is, it's kind of like a truth that I'm saying it, not the lying it, not the imagination it, right? So it's a truth that I try to say it. And thinking yourself as illness, and then for that you come to class and listening, and then you have more attention on it. As you know, when we have a physical, actual, like what we accept illness in general, headache and stomach pain, when we go to doctor, you really listen careful, right? So same way, when you come class, you have illness, you think I'm illness, then you will have better at pay attentions. That's to say it. Those kind of 6 condition we need it when we are listening the Dharma. And then when we teach to other, it's needed really. The first important is, even you don't have an actual compassion, but you really should have that kind of mind to concerning other. You know, at least you have an empathetic to other when you teach to other, right? So you're not teaching for others for money. You are not teaching for others for gain, like a fam. You're just teaching to other to sharing good method to overcome by suffering, which they can overcome by suffering. You are worrying their suffering. You are concerning their suffering, and then try to share that wisdom or idea and method that which can overcome by suffering. That's kind of a compassion mind, or empathy, or concerning others. At least we should have that kind of motivation when we teach to other. And based on that, there are some other quality we need it, but at least we need this quality when we teach to other, right? So it's just not think it's my job. You know, when we teach in a university or some other things, don't think it's my job. So some are, but many of them is not really doing this. I saw some are teaching to other, even Dharma, teach to other for surviving their life. It's kind of like this is do as a business, right? They're teaching Dharma for business. So am I teach, then I can get money from them. So, and then if I wrote the book, I get money for it. It's more using for business and financial in our surviving life. So these are the concerning is not really good way to do it, right? So therefore, the teaching is never turn into the business. That's the only that concerning other, and then based on that talk to others. Yeah, that's really important. And some yoga, some meditation center, some are teaching meditation for surviving life, right? So it could be do both, right? But important is motivation shouldn't have those. Even your meditations for having financial in your daily life, but you can do that. But motivation is not really attention on it, that how much I get money, right? So motivation should be always how I can help them, right? How I can benefit them. If you have this kind of motivation, sometimes you have more money, sometimes you have less money, your emotion will not change. If you too much focus on money to teaching others, then if you have more money, you will stay more. If you less money, you will change. So that's the how, and then not happy, right? If you have less money, then you're not happy. So then you are criticized to others. They come, never pay money and never give to me money, so on and so on. They begin to criticize. That's all happening when you too much focus on to have money, those teaching used for business, then that's problems comes. So otherwise, just teach it to benefit to other, help others, whatever gets, what gets, right? You can use for their daily life. That's possible. So important to change that motivations, and then we'll be the better connected, better help, right? So okay, this is the how we need to teach. Okay. Okay, now we finished the verse 43. Any you have a question on it or not clear the things? Have any questions on it?
Geshe,
Okay.
Geshe, hi. I have a friend whose daughter is suffering from bipolar disease,
Mhm.
and sometimes she can become very negative. And I really appreciated what you said about, turning things to become more logical,
Mhm.
to think things through, and less emotional. But what I've noticed is that sometimes when she's on a track, it's very difficult for her to hear anything. Do you have any experience with something like that, to just help somebody to sort of change tracks, to change lanes, other than, just rethinking things and thinking of things more logically? I think the logic aspect would appeal to her a great deal. I mean, she's brilliant. She's a physics student at Columbia, but sometimes she really gets stuck in a track that's very negative.
Yeah, I think I can say I do have experience on those. And then in general, we knows what happening in this world, what happening in these persons, what happening when they're having, what happening with their illness, what happening, so on and so on. In general, we knows that. It's knowing in generally. Sometime we knows also that we are out of control, right?
Right.
We do nothing beside the prayer. Sometime happening this because the karma that a lot of help to us to accept it, those suffering, even self, right? So knowing this is brings very much less stress and sadness.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Many times shares it when Ananda, the Buddha's the main disciple, and he's also Buddha's cousin, Ananda. So he have a lot of worry about that suffering having with every single sentient beings. And he keep asking Buddha, oh, this person have suffering, those person have suffering. It's too much worrying. And Buddha said, Ananda, when people are suffering by their own karma, then you do nothing that for you don't have to worry too much. But it means not that you quiet. So not worry means control your mind and based on that do something. That's the thing. Either you share them like a knowledge, or you give them some, at least you give like a prayer for them. Do something that we have to do it, but not necessarily always have a worry when people suffer by their own karma. This is one of our that out of our control. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, Georgian.
So, Geshe, I'm listening to you say that we should not follow the emotion, and I accept that. But when we are in the process of trying to begin to develop bodhicitta, don't we have to pass through a period of time when we do let those emotions come?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, maybe what I mean is don't follow emotion means negative emotion. Sorry. Yeah. Don't follow the negative emotion. Of course, there are so many positive emotions which we have to develop, we have to generate. So such as a compassion and love and kindness, those are emotion, but which things we have to develop and generate and increases, right? To limitlessly and infinitely. Yeah. So negative emotions, never follow that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Joshua,
Yes, please.
I'm not sure if I understood what you said properly, so I want to check. Are you saying that when someone is suffering from something like what Louisa was talking about, bipolar disorder, for instance, that that's a result of karma?
Why not?
I don't know. I just want to make sure I understood you properly.
Yeah, every single having illness experience are the result of karma, right? For everyone.
Yeah.
And then same logic.
So of course, then you can't worry about something that's already in motion because it's karma and it's there. But the way then to help somebody, because I'm sure we all know people who have these issues, is to just offer whatever you can as the best.
That's
But
true.
at some points, there can be times when it seems like there's nothing more we can offer. How do we, do you have any advice for that?
To overcome.
When somebody,
When
you
everything
try
is-
to, sorry, Chappelle, go ahead.
Okay. When you feel like you've done everything that you can within your capacity to help this person, and then you feel like there's nothing more you can do, and then their condition is still ongoing, how should we feel or proceed?
Yeah, so there's at least we can do prayer. That's one out of control. At least we can do prayer, and then always waiting for good condition or waiting for like a chance. Is there anything that you get a good chance? Never miss that. That's always we need to do, right? So anyhow, see here the one example. I can talk the emotion, how change us, emotion, how brings us wrong path. Say when we talk good karma, happily accept it, right? You have a good body, you have a good health, you have a good knowledge, all this good karma, happily accept it. When you have a talks about bad karma, difficult to accept it. You have an illness because of your karma, and you have a like a devoid, like a device from others is your karma, and everyone's criticized to you is your karma, and then you lost your country is your karma, on so on so on. Really difficult to accept that because of emotion. It's emotion, not thinking reason. If you think reason, then why is easily accepting positive karma result easily, and then negative karma very difficult to accept? Why? Because the same reason, right? If this is you have a good because you are good karma, that means you are logical, you're thinking cause and condition, whose good cause, positive cause will bring you positive result, right? And then other hand, this is bad because you're bad karma, then almost not accepting it. The logically is the same. If you think more reason, exactly same. But if you feel follow the emotion, then one things you accept, another things you not accept it. This is emotion easily. This is simple. Another like an example, right? So sometimes people arguing, right? I have an illness, right? The last time someone came here, I forget her name. She's really arguing here. How come my bad things is my karma? If I say good karma is your good things, she never argued. She never argued, right? So, and then once we talk into the bad karma, it's your bad karma's result that happening with all this suffering. Then she really argue, how come, right? So that's emotion, not reason, not logic.
But
So this seems like a situation, her situation, and I think that person who's suffering from, in this case, bipolar disorder, is very common. People suffering from many different conditions, but this seems like a situation where the bad karma and the good karma is ripening at the same time. If she has the bad karma, had the bad karma that is ripening in her illness, which is causing her suffering, but good karma has brought the Dharma to her, the tools that she needs, possibly, if it can overcome the negative karma, if to relieve that suffering.
Yeah, that's very true. Usually we said our human life is mixing with the good karma and bad karma. That's we say karna demele. Karna means kara means good karma, nag means bad karma, dema means mix. And then karma, the karma which is mix of both positive and negative. So let's say our neighbor Jamie, he recently passed away. So long time he's laying in about bed, having illness. Chapel knows that he's every night he goes to help. So this part of his bad karma, but his parents very much taking care of him. All this facility, he have a very bad karma. Some some other country, the poor country, that not happening. What he have it right now, can all this like a facility which he have it. Even the very bad the illness, right? But all the good facility. He can watch movie, he can open curtain, he can open the door with the machine, and then always people there to serve, who give him the water in his mouth. All this good karma. That's mixing karma, right? The good karma and bad karma. Part of the illness is bad karma, but the opportunity, all those having surrounding by those good people and this facilities are result of good karma. Yeah, everyone will not have that kind of this good facility, right? So yeah, there are a lot of things having mixed karma in our this human life, but sometimes 100% bad karma, right? Too much illness, no one looking after them, and then they are just suffer and dies at the end, right? So that's 100% negative karma. So there are no opportunity to they are having some kind of little bit relax and peace, right? Nothing chance there. That's 100% bad karma. So many people have those also. Yeah, it's good to think that having both good and bad karmas together, wrapping it. Yeah. Okay. So what is the next? Okay, where's the 44? When all the good I have done turn out badly, it is the weapon of evil karma turning upon me for repaying others' kindness with the, what's it?
Ingratitude.
Ingratitude. From now on, I will respectfully repay others' kindness. That happening a lot. Many people say, I always do good things to them, but the result is always bad, right? So isn't that happening a lot without many people, right? So,
there's even a saying in the United States, I don't know, but that normalizes that. And people say this all the time. Bad things happen to good people. And good things happen to bad people. And that's meant to just explain away.
Is there any giving the reason why they're happening?
No.
Oh, I just said it. Okay.
It's such a false statement because it doesn't explain anything. It's just a way to feel better that bad people sometimes have easier lives than good people.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
and we have another one. We have another one, and I see Janet just posted it. And the other one is even worse. The other expression, Geshe, is no good deed goes unpunished.
oh yeah, what's it again?
No good
No good deed
goes unfinished.
goes
Unpunished.
unpunished.
Oh, I see.
Even if you do something good.
Oh, yeah,
there's no
okay.
follow-up,
Yeah,
you
right.
know? So
right.
don't think you're immune just because you do good things all the time. Doesn't protect you.
Oh,
In fact,
okay.
it invites chaos.
Yeah, it is chaos. So yeah, it's very common, right? It's very common in our daily life to happening those try to do good. But sometimes I see this, the people where they complain to say I'm doing so many good things, but always happening suffering. I'm not having good relationship with someone. And when I really carefully ask question, what you did good, I not really see that it good. But they think I'm doing good, right? But the way they're not really doing good. So that's sometimes happening. But yeah, many times it's also happening, even if you really gently and like a sincerely doing good with the other, but that always repaying is bad. That happening a lot. So yeah, sometimes we try to help others instead of accepting. We got scolded from others, right? Why are you helping me? So this is how happening it. Anyhow, this is why it's saying here it's reflecting karma upon you. Again, this is a little bit confused, right? Karma means the good cause brings you good result. Bad cause brings you bad result. And then you think whatever you're doing sincerely right now, it's a good cause. But why I have a bad result? It's conflict with the karma, right? So, but you know that this is, the karmas, every single karmas, the result not happening immediately, right? That's we know. So therefore, whatever you have a bad result, it's not the karma that you're doing good. So that whatever you do, good things, the results comes some other times, maybe end of the life or maybe next life or so on, so on. So not immediate. So that's the we knows. Okay. But some might say it's kind of like a tricking, results happening future, not happening right now. This is not really a good answer from Buddhist. There's someone said that, because if this is good condition, a good karma, then results comes good. Then what I'm doing good is must becomes good, but their excuse they're saying, oh, it's not immediately arises. It comes way later. It's kind of like excuse they see it. They seize excuse. So if you seize the excuse, then I go back to general the things the usually I said the flower and trees and everything's not overnight comes arises, right? So everything you put the seed, you have to wait to come result. So it takes long time. It's not just immediate, right? So that's you can take example. As I'm saying, if you see the Buddhist answers for that is this is not the result of your what you're doing is this is result of your what you done, and what you're doing result was come later, then this is the answer actually, right? But many people see this is excuse answer. Because if you see, then I will encourage you to investigate in whatever the things that arises or producing, which is their immediate things comes. So then if their things are in natural things are not immediately arises, why we expected everything's immediately comes. So that's I can say it. And then if you still have some kind of the argument on it. I want to hear that. Right? So, and then, yeah, it's good to me think again, right? If you have a good argument. Okay. So now the one thing's here, when all the good I have done, okay, here, it is the weapon of evil karma training upon me for repaying other kindness with the ingratitude. So that's actually now is getting more worse and worse in this world, right? But still some other culture and some other country, some are there, but repaying kindness is most of them not thinking at all, repaying kindness, never think on that. So the most of children, the always one common argument with their parents saying, it's your duty to helping me. Why so kind? And then if you not do, then why you bring me this world? Many kids say that when they're angry. They think that way. If you keep thinking this way, they will never have a mind that repaying kindness, right? So only they will know when they become a parents. It's too late then. When they become a parent, sometimes their original parent, their own parents might be gone, and then I'm repaying too late. So anyhow, so when they have an actual experience, then they will know how it's kind, more than what I think when I was young, right? Otherwise, most of kids think that. And it's very important to educate it to them to the repaying kindness. So therefore, I always requesting all of you that when we do the celebrate the Mother's Day and Father's Day, right? So it's just more think their kindness instead of just having dinner and lunch. Count it, make it long listed. So how kind to me, right? So, and one things there, why we not thinking it is kind to me and why we forgetting it's kind to me, because it's not too much connected with the my wish. There's a lot of happening, right? The regarding children, say my wish wants to go play, but parents, it's kind of like a stopping to them to too much play, right? To do homework and study things that the parent do, which they are not wish. Most of children, I'm not saying every single children, right? Some are there really study with the very beginning. So, but most of children, yes, they're not really wish to study and do homework a lot. Their wish is continues play the video game, and then when the parents stop them, they really feel it's disturbing me because emotion, right? Because of emotion, they really feel it's disturbing me. And then one time, two times, they've built it, then their mind turn into the disliking to parents, disliking to teacher and the friends, whoever giving good advice, who are giving them advice which is the opposite of their wish. Then this is how comes that. Then there are no way to think I should repay their kindness, because you never think they're so kind to me. That's the one happening. And other things, good things, we easily accept it, and then it's just put it as a normal. One bad things, too much attention on it, right? One bad things, you are too much thinking again and again, which is not really think what good things for good things, right? So one bad things, usually, I don't know, you might have an expression on English. It is one common, the one bad things let them forgetting 100 good things, right? So it's happening. So because it's really the hurts, it's the one bad thing strongly hurts. because of their self-centeredness and all this mental affliction, the men cause this, I can say it. So it strongly hurts. And then good things, they just accept it normally, and then not really attention on, not really feel on it, not really think on it, just accept it like a fluently, right? So, and then not really stuck in their mind, all these good things which the parents doing children, friends doing friends, and then the all this mutual benefiting each others are not really things, they just think as normal. Therefore, the one bad thing, so how come one bad things like let us forget all those 100 good things? Because it's too strong us. Why it's become a too strong to us? Because it's like I can say self-centeredness and self-grasping. We have a strong self-centeredness. When it hurts, when something bad comes, it hurts a lot. Once it hurts a lot, it's really difficult to forget it. Once you not forget it, there's no space to remember their kind. So therefore, they're not thinking all the good things, because keep continuous thinking that negative again and again when they hurts one time. When they hurt one time, almost they think month. When they do good things, one day. It's big different, right? So, oh yeah, thank you, I appreciate you. And then a few hours later, forget it. But bad things, never forget it. Months and months remaining in your phone. Continuous thinking again and again, again and again. That makes you change all your perspective, that your view, that thinking the bad. Once you change all perspective, there are no chance to see good things to other people. There are no chance to see the kindness, others' kindness to other kindness, right? So we're not talking here all sentient beings kindness. This is a different issue. So in our daily life, as an ordinary being, really they have some kindness there who help a lot. So, but never think, right? So yeah, so I don't know. So that's happening a lot. Therefore, I did not see any possibility and hope that someone can repay your kindness. Right? It's like the animals, children, and parents. When they grow up, separated, done. Right? So we are human beings, so we can better think. So, and then I don't know why we act like an animal. So, the birds nest, they have children. When they grow, they're gone, right? And then they separate from parents. Most of the animals, when they grow, they separate from parents, right? Yeah, sometimes they forget and they eat each other, the parent and children's, right? So they're happening in animal life. So then we are act same as like this. Then it's not really what call the human being. I can say that we anyhow, it's okay. So this is a lot of happening here to saying repaying others' kindness with the ingratitude, gratitude, right? So let's say how you repaying their kindness in gratitude. Let's say you yell back, you criticize, you talk back bad things to them who really kind to you because of one thing's bad doing bad, right? And then one thing's doing bad, then you totally describing this person's bad, and a lot of criticize in front and behind. So these are the actually ingratitude, that you repaying their kindness ingratitude. And also try to harm them, right? Try to harm them. It's also really in like a Yeah, ingratitude, and really, it's kind of like an ingratitude, is even like harming them, right? Okay, so otherwise, it's like this. We have one expression. He say, the horse has a Tibetan say Dhargey Geshe Dhargey means horse. Geshe means the backside they have a wound, the big wound, and then try to clean it and then putting the medicines, right? While they're doing it, they're too much called suffering, right? Do you understand what is that I'm saying? Okay. Then they're saying, horse thinking that my owner is doing so bad to me because keep giving me suffering. But what owner doing is like cleaning their all the wounds and then putting medicine. While they're doing it's too much like a painful, right? The horse thinks it's like it's giving me more suffering, more punishing to me. But Pakwa Dumso Gyaba Sanglang, what's saying is the pig, someone like I don't know here how what happening is, some villages in India, they take care of pig until next year. So they keep continuous giving food, right? So why they wants to become very fat, the pig? Why? In the next year I want to eat meat. So their motivation is they're giving food. The motivation is wants to eat the meat in the next year. But the pig thinking is my owner is so good for me, always feeding me, right? The horse thinks my owner is so bad for me, always make me painful. But original goes reverse, goes opposite. That's how we are actually in our daily life. So therefore, we cannot repaying their kindness. Therefore, at least we cannot think who is the really kind to me. What is really kind, right? We are like a pig who's just try to help you do whatever wish fulfilling you. So I want more drink, then keep continuous drink. You'll say, oh, this person is so nice. And I want to play every time. Then, when we give the kids chocolate and every time let them play video game, they will think my parents so kind to me until they grow up, right? So, and yeah, so it's kind of like how pig things, right? Actual is taking your life and then ruining your life, what the bad things are. But it makes me so, it makes many things that which ruin our life is, it brings us many temporary pleasure in the moment, such as alcohol, drugs, and so on and so on. It's a lot of bringing pleasure in the moment, but we forget it's ruining our life. It's ruining our and like killing our life. So we're forgetting that, but we think it's so good and so nice and good persons, right? So, and on the other hand, who always talk, do meditation, do study better, do be nice person, do be more patient, it's very difficult to listen for them, right? So someone very much always disturbing you, then hear advice. When you ask the Buddhist person to advise, the first saying, be patient, right? It's very difficult to accept it. How come I'm being patient? You keep disturbing me, keep like harming me. How come I do? It's silly, right? So almost not listening those things. As like a horse, we are treating. It's treatment, right? The treatment. So to try to help the horse wound recover soon that we treat, right? It's painful. It's painful, but it's harming. but it's not difficult to, it's difficult to listening as our daily life, who gives you good advice, right? So therefore thinking, oh yeah, so it's continuously harming me. You continue saying, be patient and be patient and be patient. You are silly. I don't want to follow you. This is how happening, right? But what do we do this beside that? What you can do beside that? Revenge. And then we see all this what happening, right? So the best things is patient, but really difficult to accept it. And then sometimes they misunderstand that being patient means you should quiet, you should silence. That's not really means that. So being patient means you shouldn't have anger. That's the saying, right? So and then based on that, you can do whatever you like it, even do patience, but difficult to accept it. This is an example. And then so many other things from kids to adult. Whenever we give the good advice, we will try to inspire the good things. Very difficult to accept it in most of our people, right? But the bad things, easily accept it, easily learn it. Sometimes some bad things, without teaching, we knows. So that's how happening in daily life. So therefore, it's very difficult to think who is really kind to me. If you not really more attention and mindfully think, you will not notice who is really kind to me. Even you think it's kind to me in the moment, you easily forget it. So then impossible to repaying kindness from that, right? So, okay, so this is like an incomplete the sentence, like a stanza 44. I will talk more on it next time. Okay, any other question?
Thank you, Geshe.
You're welcome.
May I ask what you, in your travels, you said it's a medicine Buddha?
Oh, yeah, Medicine Buddha
Can you
workshop.
tell us what you do, what activities, what your travels?
Oh, okay, sure,
involve?
no problem, no problem. Tilesha. Yeah, you can, Chappelle, you can stop the recording. So Medicine Buddha, we call